afternoon, Ms. Bertoli. I'm Haleigh Ryan. I'm with the POS system, Meter D. Mr. Qualtrics speaks very highly. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh yes, Mr. Qualtrics is a very old friend of mine. It's nice to meet you. Please have a seat.
Thank you so much.
So, I look forward to hearing what you have to say about your product.
Thank you so much. I look forward to telling you. So I hear you're in the market for a new POS system then.
Yes, it's a sensitive subject. We replaced our old systems last summer and have been disappointed with the newer system as well. So I'm just looking into a few other options.
Well, why don't I start with telling you a little bit about our system, and you can tell me what your issues are right now and what you're looking for in a new system, what we can improve on.
Sure. That sounds great. I'm not looking to buy anything right away. I'm just checking out a few possibilities.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with that. So our POS system is called Meter D. It's rated the #1 POS system in the country, according to the Canadian Restaurant Association, in terms of customer service, effectiveness, and reliability. How large is your restaurant?
We are able to seat up to 130 people on our patio and 200 people indoors. A maximum capacity, we have 330 people eating at one time.
Oh wow. How often do you find that you're completely full?
Very frequently, especially between Wednesday night and late Sunday afternoon. We are almost always on a wait list during the summer months, as it is our busiest time.
So how many staff members do you generally have on the system at one time? With a large capacity like that, I imagine you have a very large staff.
Yes, we have a very large staff. We have approximately 4 bartenders working at one time and up to 14 servers in the dining room or on the patio. Private parties have additional staff when needed, and we currently have 6 computer stations that the staff rotates through. Usually they are all in use at one time.
Oh wow, yes, that's a very large staff. So how often, or do you mind telling me what feedback you receive most frequently from your service staff?
Absolutely. I find the most common statement from my staff reports back to me are that the system is freezing up or is too slow once we get to maximum capacity. As you can imagine, this is the worst possible time for our systems to be malfunctioning. It begins to stress the servers out.
I can only imagine so. So as someone who worked in the restaurant industry, I can only imagine the frustration that your staff must experience as they need the system to speed up. It appears to be slowing down. I would assume that the kitchen is affected by the front of house service staff stress level as well?
Oh, of course. Once the servers realize the kitchen is not receiving meal chits until 5 minutes after they're sent through, the dynamic of the restaurant changes from a positive environment to a stressful and flustered.
I would imagine. So how often does this happen?
I would say at least a couple times a week.
And is this time impact, what impact is this time interim having on the restaurant?
As I mentioned, it stresses the staff out and this affects their level of service. The goal is to have smiling, positive servers and bartenders engaging with their tables and making them feel welcome and important. This is hard to do when they are frequently worried about the quality of the service that they are able to provide based on the computer glitches.
Right. So what I'm getting from this is that your biggest issue at the time is that there is miscommunication between the front and back of house in the service industry, and the current system is incapable of handling the booming success of your restaurant at the time being. How important is providing quality service to your patrons to you?
The quality of the service is the single most important factor that I strive for in my restaurant.
So would an increase in POS speed and dependability improve the restaurant atmosphere?
I definitely think that would be helpful.
So as I mentioned before, Meter D is a highly efficient system and is used in many large restaurants with similar capacities to yours. It's rated very highly by the Canadian Restaurant Association. Turtle Jack's is a very large chain restaurant in which we have formed a partnership with over the years, and their feedback has been absolutely amazing. So just here, I have all the figures that I will leave you with to look over once I leave. Meter D is very quick in comparison to the other POS systems because it uses the most modern and up-to-date Microsoft technology and updates, which allows the front of house and the back of house staff to communicate effectively and efficiently. In terms of, you mentioned sending chits was an issue.
Oh,
So thus leading to decreasing wait times and leading to happier patrons and higher profits. I mean, if your guests aren't waiting long for dinner, that means there's more time for dessert, right?
That does seem to be our biggest issue. Communication between the front and back of house, as you mentioned, and our dessert sales could use some improvement.
So are you seeing how our system may improve your bottom line then?
I am. My concern is that I just invested in a new system last summer, and I'm wondering if there are upgrades they could provide me as opposed to teaching my staff an entirely new system. They're just beginning to get the hang of this one.
I completely understand that, and I know that new systems can be overwhelming. One of the most common comments that we receive here at Maitre D is how easy our system is to operate. So most of your staff is approximately 18 to
Around 25 for the most part.
So that generation is really up to date with technology these days. Our system functions on the computers that you currently have in place, and should you choose to invest with Maitre D, we also have the option to add mobile iPads to ring in orders. They add convenience and they eliminate unnecessary wait time and standing around on behalf of your staff, which gives your servers more time to tend to their tables and, of course, upsell, returning in more profit for you, which is the main goal, right? So the iPads are extremely easy to learn on, and your staff is already familiar with your current computers. Our system is the easiest of all POS systems to navigate. That feedback is coming from founders of the Canadian Restaurant Association. They're not quite as tech savvy as the younger generation that you have employed.
Well, yes, my staff is extremely tech savvy. They're always teaching me new things online and in terms of what my electronics can do.
Exactly. So that should not be a concern. It would be a breeze for everyone to learn, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as feedback has gone. We also offer training where we send our customer service representatives to meet with your staff and your management to ensure that they're comfortable with the system and teaching them the ins and outs before the launch date. We do the same thing. We do the same thing with management and supervisors, just so that everyone's on the same page. I, of course, would be there the first few nights to ensure that everything is going according to plan and answer any questions that may arise throughout the process.
I like the sound of the training with you and your colleagues. Would you be available to contact should we have questions with the system when the system is up and running on the floor? That's a concern I have right now.
Absolutely. I know the system inside and out, and I will be there the first few nights you launch. As I mentioned, to ensure that everything goes according to plan, I'm also fully available to make tweaks where need be. It's a learning process, so I would 100% be there to help you guys out.
Okay, but your pricing is even higher than that of our current system, Touch Bistro.
Yes, I do acknowledge that, but we actually offer more value for what we're offering than based on the size of the restaurant. Based on the size of the restaurant, we would recommend 10 computers. You mentioned you were working with 6 right now with Touch Bistro?
Yes.
So if you keep those 6 computers in place, we would be able to come in and install our software on those 6 computers. We have, as I also mentioned earlier, we also have iPads, which are very convenient. Our system is pre-installed on them, the software, and they update on their own. Their mobility is a game changer for a system of this size. I would highly suggest purchasing the extra 4 iPads, which are $500 a piece plus the software. Right now, Touch Bistro is going at a rate of approximately $30,000 for their system.
Yes, I paid just under $30,000 last year to have an entirely new system installed. So you can see my dismay now that I must install a new one.
I can only imagine the frustration. It's a touchy subject, but what I'm prepared to offer you is the software for your current 6 computers plus 4 iPads with the system already installed for a price of $30,000. Our training program is $500 a session, one for management and one for your staff, which I highly recommend. And I can personally promise you that you will not be in search of a new computer system 1 year from today. Which I think overall that's what you're looking for, isn't it?
Oh yes, this could not become an annual purchase. I would definitely need the training for my staff and management, and I can't say no to the iPads. They just sound too convenient to turn down.
Well, if I've answered all your questions and or concerns, we can arrange to install the new computer system on one of your computers on the 1st of April at 8 a.m. And we can schedule management training for the following day.
Why only one computer?
Well, we want to ensure that you love the system and are as comfortable with the system as I'm sure that you will be before we launch. We just want to make sure that your staff is comfortable, you're comfortable, that everything goes according to plan, and overall our goal is to ensure that you are happy and that your staff is happy and that your customers in turn are happy, returning higher profits for the business.
I think that's a very good idea. I like that a lot. So the 1st of April at 8 a.m. you said? I would ideally like to launch for the 2nd week of April before the patio opens and the summer staff is hired.
Yep, that's when we can come and install, so we can definitely have you up and running for the 2nd week of April. Just in time for patio season, have everyone comfortable. I can send over some paperwork this afternoon just reiterating what we just spoke about. Otherwise, if you have any other questions or concerns, don't hesitate to call or email me. And other than that, I will see you April 8th at 8 a.m. Thank you so much for your time. I see why Mr. Kolchuk speaks so highly of you.
Thank you so much. That takes a huge weight off my shoulders when I think about patio season now.
Well, there should definitely be no stress when thinking of patio season.
That's a very good point. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you so much. I'll see you April 8th at 8 a.m.
Okay.